It's a fucking intro. It's a fucking intro. I'm doing this temporarily until I create a new intro scene. It's a fucking intro. It's a fucking intro. It's a fucking intro. Now on with the main show.
Hey folks, bad quality I'm afraid, can't find my normal camera. Just an update on a couple of things. Firstly, the competition. I'm giving it an extended deadline, until about the 5th or something like that, maybe the 5th of November. Mainly because I've been what I thought was chock full of the cold, and with having regular starting time, regular working times of 9 to 6 plus the surgery, I was too tired to record my story, which I'd half written, and was sleeping a lot more, so couldn't even be arsed putting a reminder out there for folks that there was a competition. So this is it, reminder, up to 1,000 words folks, in please by November 5th, and I'll try and get it recorded. Now, my proper update, the news. I, as some of you know, was diagnosed with cancer, testicular at that. I got my CT results today. My cancer was a highly aggressive one, in fact it still is, and it has spread through my lymph nodes into my lungs. It's been causing me backache, like making breathing harder. And like if I breathe in, my diaphragm will give me a sharp pain to stop it, my shoulder as well, that's what it is. So to battle this and the entire cancer and to cure it, I'm going to be starting chemotherapy. The chemotherapy course I'll be doing is BEP. I've got all the details here. And I'll be doing tests beforehand to make sure that I am suitable for the thing. Like my kidneys are working fine, my heart's working fine, my lungs are working okay. They need to know what capacity so they can work out what capacity will be shortened by in the future because of the chemotherapy. A lot of things won't work right because of this chemotherapy course. Like in the future, there'll be an 8% more chance of me having a heart attack, a stroke, angina, something like that. Saving an old man. But by that point, I'm hoping that medical advancements have happened in the heart case. My lung capacity will be shortened, possibly, because there might be scarring on the lungs because of the what one is it I'm taking? That's the cause of it. Is it? Shoot. It's one of them. Hold on. I've got many things to look at here. The bleomycin is what's going to cause that. I've got a cough as well, which is grand. Get a scan of my head done. I'm saving some sperm in a sperm bank 100 miles away, well 110 miles or whatever the hell it is, in Aberdeen, for future babies. Apply now, ladies. Just in case there's a the slightest chance that I'm infertile because of the chemo. The chemo drugs I'll be taking would be bleomycin, etoposide, and cisplatin, which contains platinum. So what's going to be coming about this is I'll be spending 5 days in a hospital for 1 week, the first week, getting pumped full of this shit every day, constant IV drip to keep my fluids flowing and my kidneys pissing it out, like processing it and me pissing it out basically. Amongst other things, I'll be doing a lot of tests, obviously, and it's a harsh course. It's a really hard course, a very aggressive course of treatment to beat the cancer, which I've got a good chance of beating because of my age and general all-round fitness. Plus I don't smoke. Yeah, there's a lot. It's not going to be nice. I mean, I might have it put through the skin through a plastic tube, or this is the one that worries me. The bleomycin might go through through my muscles as an intramuscular thing, or it might be through the neck or through the collarbone. Well, not through the neck, but I mean like through the collarbone, through the shoulder. Not nice. And the worst thing is it's 3 drips. Yeah. Yay. So, like I said, I'll be 5 days in hospital getting this pish stuck in me, as I'm going in for the 5-day regime. Then I'll be home for 2 weeks, and in those 2 weeks I'll have 1 day where I'm in the hospital getting top-ups of the chemo drugs. Then back in for 5 days, and blah blah blah, and this is a repeat. I'm getting 4 cycles of this, 4 courses, 4 treatments of it, which is 3 months. So I've had to quit my job because there's no way I can stay in the job for that long. Also, I don't get statutory 6 pay yet because I've not been there for 3 months. Right, that's the information bit. 2 sheets of A4. There's a further 3 or 4 sheets of side effects alone from the chemo. Now, some of you might be interested in this. If you're not, well, now you know what I'm dealing with. You can go bye-bye. If you are interested to know what I'll be dealing with, or possibly be dealing with, fine. Well, let's deal with it, because you might be interested in what chemo does to you, or this round of chemo will do to you. Possible side effects. These are the main ones, the big ones. The ones that are more than likely going to happen. And it depends on every different person, because chemo affects everyone differently. BEP will more than likely, well, chemo's going to fuck you up. Chemo fucks up your white blood cells, your immune system. It's not outside infections that are the risk, by the way. It's the infections that you already have that your body is fighting off already, or keeps to a little minimum that it barely affects you. Yeah, so I've got to deal with that, infections. So obviously I'll be contacting the hospital or NHS 24, which is a telephone service, like when nurses let you phone up 24 hours a day. If you're feeling a wee bit peely-wally and you can't get to the doctor, you ask them and they advise whether you'd go to the doctor or hospital or whatever, or give you advice on how to deal with it. Bruising or bleeding, it can affect my platelet count. So if I get random bruises or start bleeding from the nose, or gums or spots or rashes on my skin, I have to get in touch with the doctor straight away and have a transfusion, a platelet transfusion that is. I could have anemia. It's short term, in fact. These are all short term so far. Thankfully these things will return to normal after the treatment stops, or in a few days, you know, that such thing. Feeling sick or being sick, you know, that sort of thing. I'll get an anti-sickness drug if that happens. Fatigue, hair loss, you can say bye bye to this after 4 weeks of starting treatment. Apparently it usually falls out completely, and it'll grow back, but it could grow back differently. It could grow back finer, thicker, curly, or straight as it is now, or a different colour. So I could, probably darker, so I'll probably be brown instead of ginger, but I'll still have the ginger genes, baby. I'll be producing those ginger babies for you, as long as you apply. Sore mouth, out like ulcers or sore or dry. This can happen. Taste changes, so I'll notice that food tastes differently again. This will go back to normal. Excuse the text. Skin changes. I mean, most of the trouble comes from this bleomycin that I'm seeing here. Skin, it can cause a rash, be itchy, and it can darken, so I can become, my melanomen will be increased, melanin even. Long streaks on my skin, as though I've been scratched. Skin will go back to normal, but yeah. Kidneys, this is cisplatin this time round. The effect's generally mild for this one though. It's no big. It's just this is why I do kidney tests. Hearing, I'll be getting tinnitus for about a bloody year. It gets better apparently, but each course can affect your hearing, and they may be permanent. That's a thing. Maybe have to end up with a hearing aid for all we know. Nail changes. The colour of my nails may change. Darken, white, streaks, stuff grow out. Fevers and chills. And then we get to the less common effects. Yeah, this is a less common effect list. Numbness or tingling in the hands or feet. Kind of like pins and needles, I will presume. But yeah, apparently I must report these immediately because that may require lowering those. The shits. Something called radiation recall, which is areas which have been treated with radiotherapy before can become red and sore. It's harmless, I'll go away after chemotherapy is finished. Changes to the lungs. So again, bleomycin can cause scarring to my lungs, and this is permanent. I hope it doesn't, but if it does happen, then there's nothing I can do about it, or the doctor can. My lung capacity will just shorten because of it, and I can't force it because that will make it worse. Thankfully, I think my lung capacity is quite good, but I'll get that test tomorrow. I doubt the cough helps. Though right now with the pain in the back, it doesn't help. So, pain at the injection site, an allergic reaction, and I'm not liking those. I'm not liking the looks of those allergic reactions. Itching, shivering, temperature, needing to piss but not actually wanting to piss, headaches. Oh, lovely. There's always an additional chance, a very rare chance of getting a second cancer from the chemo, which is what the etoposide might cause. Usually a type of acute leukemia. It would develop later on in years. That's a future risk. It's apparently a rare one, a very, very rare one. Risk of developing a blood clot. Yeah. That's not such a nice thing, is it? Dear. Thankfully, they can be treated. My fertility, which I've mentioned. So, those are the lovely things I've got to deal with through this chemotherapy. Like I say, I probably won't be ready to work until February. I've got to get tests, like I say, a scan done, lung capacity, kidney test. They're checking me out for hepatitis or HIV before I can go have a wank for the NHS to freeze my sperm, because that's what the sperm bank want. There's a hell of a lot of tests. I'll have arms worse than junkies by the end of this, I think. So that's that. I've just got to sign a few consent forms to say I can have chemotherapy. I'm allowing them to do chemotherapy to me. I'm allowing them to freeze my sperm, all this pish. Anyway folks, don't worry about it. It's all good. I'll either repeat it or I won't. But that's the update. And the musical route, the Ozzy Osbourne special, I'll get to it eventually. I doubt I'll be well enough to do it for a while, so I may have to rely on logic, and that's depressing. That's more depressing than the cancer. Having to rely on logic to inform you all. Oh, that's too depressing. See you folks.